Hi, this is Dana, and in this video, God is guiding me to talk about some of the research and the information I have discovered already in astrological field. Um, I said in the previous video, that I already claimed my divine identity, and I started working on astrology with God and spiritual guides from Druid crafts, but also from other fields. And I don't really feel comfortable of talking about this now, because I'm just in the beginning of my research, but somehow God insists, saying that what I discovered is already important information to share with everybody, so everybody would become aware, even if I don't give all the details now, as I'm still researching and working on this. God says it's important at this beginning, this new beginning, for everyone to at least become aware of this. And later on in other videos, I will detail much more. Essentially, what happens, what God has shown me is that one of the most, I don't know how to say, one of the most powerful type of occult practice, which they do, um, essentially to block us in achieving our purpose, is uh, basically binding spells, so binding themselves to you through your natal chart, astrological natal chart, right? So how this works, essentially, God shows me that they do fake embodiment of you, right? They claim your identity, and there is a ritual, as crazy as this might seem, this is true. They have a ritual in which they basically assume your identity, right? So they, through dark spirits, they do this, they work with spirits, and as they claim your identity, they essentially assume your date of birth. It's like they get born again, and they use your natal chart for this new birth, this new of them, this new identity which they assume. So as they assume your natal chart, within that ritual, they claim a certain house. Essentially, when they do that ritual, they already have the 12 houses in your natal chart divided among themselves, because they do this as a group, as a secret society, as whatever. And they essentially divide the houses in your natal chart among themselves, and each of them has claimed a certain house in your natal chart, which represents, essentially, each house represent your divine rights in certain fields, which you must be very you must pay much attention, because the natal chart, as opposed to usual witchcraft, the natal chart witchcraft basically gives them access to all points of entry in all fields of your life. So everything that comes to you, that is destined to you as a resource in order to achieve your purpose, is in your natal chart. And if they assume that, then they have access to all points of entries in your life. That means family, that means money, that means entrepreneurship or career, fame, everything. Just look at the 12 houses and you will see. It means your entire life. Now, this is a constant dark presence in your life. It is basically a claim over your entire life, because this does, regardless what changes are in astrology each year or each quarter of year, and regardless what changes you make in your life, your natal chart remains the same. So once they claim that, whatever changes you make, it doesn't affect. They still get everything through that. And whatever you earn, because now they claim different things, but you go to work and you earn money and something, but that is only is going to be only for your survival. You're never going to get enough to achieve your purpose. You're never gonna get your full rights. You're only gonna get breadcrumb, like whatever you succeed in creating for yourself in order to survive and to carry on. But you will not make a difference. You will not be yourself. They work with spirits on each house. Okay. And again, they claim, and it could be and it can be many people claiming the same house. If you have a lot of abundance and a lot of rights, they can divide that among themselves. So you have all these people who are claiming your natal chart. Keep this in mind. You have them stealing your identity. That means a cord is connected between them and you. They feed on you constantly. Imagine there are 12 houses. And I've seen in my own natal chart that in one house I had over 12 people attached to that house. So imagine how many people can be attached to you, feeding on you constantly. And this, when this is being done, it's very difficult to fight energetically, just because there are too many feeding on you on a constant basis, right? So they claiming your identity, they feed on you. There's these cords through which they feed on you, and through which they send to you their darkness. They transfer their karma on you, on those houses which they claimed. So you're carrying a fake karma, which I keep saying it's bondage, it's not a karma, of others. You keep paying for other people's karma constantly in your life. So when nothing goes right, or you don't succeed in achieving what you establish for yourself, or you just feel sick, energetically speaking, you must understand that this is why. This is why, because essentially there are many people feeding on you on a constant basis. They take rights over all entry points of your abundance in your life, and they transfer to you all the negative karma they create for themselves, because they do this constantly to others as well. So they have a lot of negative karma, right? They keep transferring to you, and you keep paying for their karma. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about you being in a relation. I'm not even talking about, the predicament of couples, if you accept or not the other back, if you pay for the other's karma or something. I'm talking about people who, some of them you never met, or even if you met them, they're just simply acquaintances, neighbors, friends, colleagues at work, stuff like this, but not somebody that you would have shared your life with, So keep this in mind. You're paying for negative karma of people with whom you had nothing in common, just because they decide to do this on you. Now, this is something that I discovered already, and one way to fight this, I will keep working on this, of course, and perfect it. I didn't want to share it yet, but God said it's important that everybody learns about it now. The one way to fight it is to break the bondage of your natal chart, because as I said in previous videos, all light workers have been abducted upon birth. You have a totally different identity associated to you, 3D identity. So for most light workers, actually God says to me right now, for absolutely all, the natal chart and the date of birth is not your true date of birth. You've been abducted and placed in a family where they could control you and they could program you constantly, through family members, through different kind of connections. Your chart, your natal chart, your date of birth that you are aware of right now in 3D is not the correct one. So going through and breaking the bondage, this bondage of your identity, which is not your identity, but it's an identity associated to you, only in order for them to steal it through your natal chart. So you can see how diabolic this is. They gave you a new birth date, they gave you a new natal chart according to whatever they want, whatever gifts they wanted to get from you through that, and then they stole that from you by doing these witchcraft spells on natal chart and claims. Okay, so you see how diabolic this is. So as you work through that and you break that bondage, you go back to your initial divine identity, the one which was bestowed upon you by God when you were born. Okay. Now, of course, if you don't do anything and you don't fight, at some point they can get to that information as well and do the same spells on your initial natal chart, I imagine. But for this phase of the ascension, God emphasizes that the way to fight against it is to break the bondage of your current identity, which is not your true identity from God, but it's an identity which they wanted to associate to you, so they would steal rights from that. Okay. So this is how you fight it. This is the guidance I got so far to fight it. Of course, when you learn about this, you should claim justice, judgment, and punishment. You should look at your natal chart. You should ask the divine guidance who has been attached to which house in your natal chart. You should ask justice, judgment, and punishment on against those individuals and all those behind them who supported them, because this is a system of secret societies doing this. It's not just one stupid individual doing it. Okay. And you must be aware, and you must keep it in your astral letters to the karmic board, and to ask continuous guidance and help how you can overcome this. Clearly, this goes without saying. Now, again, God shows that fighting against this bondage which has been placed upon you through all this network of essentially is human trafficking and I don't even know how to call it, changing identities and stealing rights and identities and so on. And you need to be aware essentially that this is happening to you, that you need to include this in your spiritual fighting, and to understand how you can first of all how you can fight it, but then also who you are, who you truly are meant to be according to your initial divine identity. Because I'm telling you from experience, and I gave a few examples before, I've noticed this in my own fighting. There are many things which are hidden you don't know, and God guides you discreetly to do certain things. And once you do that, a whole list of information is being unraveled and revealed to you. But you must you must do that step. Like once I claimed this divine identity, and I got the new guide, the druid guide, spiritual guide. I already started having revelations about all of this. I gave the example in previous videos when God guided me insistently to do YouTube. He was just saying to me two separate things. First, that on my Facebook page there's been done witchcraft and sorcery and all sorts of attacks, and that they're stealing my work. Nothing more. He wouldn't say anything more. But then he would say, do YouTube videos. And as I said previously, I refused to do that because I said I don't have the proper conditions. I'm under continuous attack. I cannot carry on a video and have a coherent dialogue according to my standards. And I cannot have a proper video according to my standards at this point in time. I need to change, to relocate, to have different circumstances to do this, which was a stupid mistake on my part, because after I've done the first or second video, God already revealed to me exactly what was done on the Facebook page. As long as I kept writing there, although I was doing prophetic writing, I got my divine grace from God for my work, but they kept doing the same thing, and there was a blockage. I couldn't understand what was done exactly and how to fight. As soon as I started doing YouTube video, God revealed to me what was done on the Facebook page and is now trying to be done on my YouTube as well. What I want to emphasize in this entire thing is that when God gives you a certain guidance, and I will come back to this topic later on in another video, but when God gives you a certain guidance, many times you don't understand what it means, why it's for, and sometimes it seems just silly to you. But as you do that, sometimes it's just a word. Sometimes it's just a small gesture. Sometimes it's just a claim which you yourself don't understand. But once you make that claim, once you say that word, everything starts unraveling and revealing to you. It's, I don't know how to say, this is like a miracle um, puzzle. And once you put one piece in its place, then everything falls in its place instantly without any effort from you. But you just must find that key. And many times that key is in divine guidance from God. It just doesn't make sense to us with the logic, with the level of understanding we have. So, and with the information we have. So many times we oversee it or we don't do it. But it's a pity because I just showed I lost 4 years. If I would have done videos, YouTube videos in 2018, like God said, some of this would have been revealed to me then, you know. But I just stood in my ego and I said, "This is silly. I'm not gonna do videos like this. I need you to help me fight this, so I won't have so many attacks, so I can speak freely without being constantly attacked while I do this." Anyhow, I will stop here. This is most important information I wanted to put out at this point is that your natal chart is being used, astrological natal chart, to block you. And what happens is that you have automatically all your 12 houses, which means your entire life and your entire being. Your entire being. Know that the first house is the house of self. So even to that, they make claims and they attach spirits, which means they attach spirits and spells to your spirit, to break your spirits, to steal your spirit, to keep you hostage on spiritual level. So you and this, by the way, God shows me to explain how this manifests because many people have it. This manifests with huge pain on your crown chakra, huge pain on your crown chakra. Then when you have that, you must know you have this done on you. Okay, so the most important information that I wanted to put out there is to start working spiritual fighting and claiming justice, judgment, and punishment regarding to occult work done on your natal chart, astrological natal chart. And I will come back with further details as my research goes on. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so we make sure the information and the knowledge I put out there reaches as many people as possible. Uh, Please keep in mind that it might be for some people a survival issue. They really might need it. And if you feel inclined to support my work and my channel, you find in the description box below the information to my wish list on Amazon and to my PayPal account. Thank you.